Hello, dear fans, friends, subscribers. Welcome back to Cricket Happenings today. And on this part of the Cricket Happenings show, as I'm talking to you, there's live cricket update coming in from the Sydney Cricket Ground, where the Englishmen or the England have been bowled out for 346, but it definitely saw some real hitting from the England batsmen, the lower order, especially Tom Curran. Indulged himself in making 39 with 6 boundaries, and Stuart Broad swung the bat hard to hit 2 fours and 1 6 and a 30-yard contribution. Cummins had 4 wickets, and then you also saw the Aussies grasping some simple chances, which enabled the Englishmen to go to be all out for 346. And also, I have to say that right now they have taken an early lunch after the dismissal, and the Australians will be resuming their reply in the first innings after the luncheon interval. Well, so I'll be looking at that, and also I'll be looking as to what panned out yesterday when England closed the first day at 233 for 5. I'll talk about that. But tomorrow, one of the marquee clashes which is coming up, according to me, is between the Test series, which is going to kick off finally at Newlands in Cape Town between India and South Africa, and one can't wait to witness this particular match which is going to happen. So I'll be doing a brief preview on this particular Test series coming up between India and South Africa. But let's start off, as I said, with England. So I'm going to start off by saying that England were the ones who actually won the toss yesterday. First, I'll talk about yesterday's play and then come to today. So England actually won the toss, and they had Mason Crane actually making his debut. He was handed over his cap by the commentator in Channel 9 right now, the visiting commentator Kevin Peterson. And just talking about the game, it all started with Alistair Cook and Mark Stoneman opening the innings, and they were chugging along nicely. The bowling was good. So there was real sharpness with Stark, Hazelwood really bowling in the right areas, and also Cummins doing a good job. And then finally, the first wicket fell. The breakthrough came when Mark Stoneman, who was looking good with 24, with 4 boundaries, pushed at a delivery from Cummins, and Payne was the one who took the resultant edge. He was gone for 24. After that, Alistair Cook was really circumspect. He was really trying to do the digging for England at one end, as James Vince joined him. And James Vince, as you know, he likes to play his strokes. He looked good whenever he was playing his strokes. He was looking pretty good. But then Cummins, as I said, was bowling very well, and he was the one who actually picked up the wicket of James Vince, caught behind once again for 25 with 4 boundaries. So which made the score look at 88 for 2 when Vince departed. Alistair Cook, who was digging himself in, was joined in by Joe Root, the captain at the other end. But Josh Hazelwood produced a wonderful delivery which pitched in and straightened, and Alistair Cook was a goner. LBW bowled Hazelwood for 39 with 3 boundaries. So that made the score at 95 for 3 when Cook departed. And definitely England needed someone to stand at the crease and put a long partnership, and that came in the form of the 4th wicket partnership, which happened between Joe Root, the England captain, and David Mallon. Well, Joe Root definitely was looking very good in his stay at the crease. David Mallon, normally he likes to play aggressively, but yesterday he was probably kept quiet by the Aussie pace bowlers, as this partnership started taking root. And from 95 for 3, a wonderful partnership that happened, which actually put on almost 130 odd runs for the 4th wicket, which was good to see. And that really helped matters for England, as things are going along nicely with the score reading 228 But that was time now. That was they had done a good job, and the new ball was due, and also the new ball was due, and it was just a matter of just going through the paces, and one was thinking that David Malan and Joe Root will take England to safety at the end of the day. But Mitchell Stark had other ideas, and Mitchell Stark was the one who started it off by getting the prize wicket of Joe Root when he actually had him caught by Mitchell Marsh when he tried to flick a delivery, 83 of 8 with 8 boundaries. And after that, there were more misery for England as David Malan, who was Jonathan Bairstow was out at the stroke of stumps, and as soon as Bairstow was out, stumps were drawn for the day with David Malan unbeaten on 55. Jonathan Bairstow was a goner as Hazelwood got a wonderful delivery. I thought it was the ball of the day, which actually hit the seam and straightened, and Payne behind the wickets did the rest. He was caught by Payne. He's gone for 5 with 1-4. That was a big blow for England when Jonathan Bairstow departed, leaving David Malan a lot to do at the crease at 55 not out. So that was England on the first day at 233 for it was 5 wickets, which definitely it was a sort of a blow for England because they lost 2 wickets towards close of play, which was not something that one would have expected. But today, as far as today's play went, they resumed on the overnight score, and Mitchell Stark, as you know, the new ball, it was the new cherry yesterday, which was claimed just before close of play, and Mitchell Stark provided an early breakthrough in the morning when David Malan snicked one to Smith of the bowling of Stark. He was gone for 62 with 6 boundaries, and after that we had Moeen Ali partnering Tom Curran, and Tom Curran now showing his batting abilities today. Yes, he lived a bit dangerously, I thought, but still he indulged himself in making 39 with 6 boundaries. Moeen Ali's contribution was 30 with 2 boundaries. So today Nathan Lyon could not pick up his wicket. His wicket went to Patrick Cummins. Broad also swung his bat high, wide and handsome for 31 with 1-4 and 2 sixes. And finally Mason Crane was run out for 4. James Anderson not out on naught, and thus the England innings ending at 346. So they were all out for 346, and an early lunch was taken because of the dismissal. And as far as the bowling was concerned, Patrick Cummins, who bowled excellently yesterday, continued his good term and ended up with 24.3 overs, 5 minutes, 80 runs, and 4 wickets. Mitchell Stark, 21 overs, 6 minutes, 2 for 80, also did a fine job. Hazelwood, as good as ever, 23 overs, 4 minutes, 265. Nathan Lyon, 37 overs, 5 minutes, 1 for 86. And Mitchell Marsh, 7 overs for 33. So that is the situation. As I said, right now the update is England were all out for 346 on the second day, and lunch has been taken, and still there are no signs. I mean, lunch has play has not resumed on the second day at the SCG. So from here we shift attention, but I'll keep an eye on that just in case play resumes at the SCG after lunch and give you a live cricket update. But let's talk about the now I'm going to preview the first test match which is coming up of the series. India are in South Africa, and one would remember, so just doing a preview of this India-South Africa first test that is coming up. Let me first tell you that South Africans were beaten hollow by India when they came to India, with India preparing a lot of spinning pitches, as you would remember, when India actually drubbed the South African 3-0. Now that is something which is very, very raw. I mean, very, very ripe in their minds for the South Africans, and South Africans have been waiting for this opportunity. Now it's probably time for South Africa, and probably, I mean, South Africa now are in their own den, and the Indians are in South Africa. And also another thing to look at is that India have never won a test series against South Africa in South Africa, and that would be is going to be a big challenge for India. So let's first look at the host team, South Africa, as to what they can come up with. Well, Dean Elgar, who has been having a sort of a golden run in 2017, in the year 2017, will be partnered by Aiden Markram. Aiden Markram, in a very a short, I would say, a short tenure in cricket, probably played only a few matches, but he already has 2 tons to his credit. So Aiden Markram and Dean Elgar will be opening the innings. Hashim Amla will be slaughtered at 1 drop, and one knows what is the value that Hashim Amla brings to the South African team. And du Plessis is back, so du Plessis will be captaining the side. But one thing that one could not understand from the reports that were coming in is that it was said that either it could be it could be Andil Falquayo or Chris Morris playing at the expense of A.B. de Villiers or Temba Bavuma. No, A.B. de Villiers for me is an automatic inclusion. I mean, I was really surprised that A.B. de Villiers was also someone that they could probably drop. I'm not telling they're going to drop. They could. So after reading the reports that was coming in, I was really a bit surprised, because we know A.B. de Villiers. There is no description. I mean, one knows what this player is. One knows the value, and I was real surprised. I would have understood if it was Temba Bavuma or anywhere, but A.B. de Villiers also. That is. I think that won't be a good choice. A.B. de Villiers, to me, should play in this particular South African squad, come what may. So hopefully A.B. de Villiers is there in the squad tomorrow. Quinton de Kock coming, so really strengthening this South African batting lineup. They still have some very good all-rounders in the mix. Chris Morris would be probably preferred to Andil Falquayo, hopefully. So Chris Morris will be partnering one on Philander. One on Philander is another all-rounder. And then we have the pace aces, Kagiso Rabada, who would be probably partnered on Dale Steyn. As you know, Otis Gibson sounded that he wouldn't be playing. Well, if that's the case, then Moni Morkel with his bounce would be terrific. And I think there will still be a veritable mix of bowling from the South Africans, with Kagiso Rabada having genuine pace, but now Philander with the swing, Chris Morris with his nice line, and Moni Morkel with his bounce, pace and bounce, and Keshav Maharaj, the left-arm spinner, who has been doing a very good job so far. He would really have his task cut out against the Indians, I reckon, as Indians are good players to spin. And South Africa definitely, would be looking forward to it. And I think on their turf, I think they are real panthers, according to me, because the pace and bounce is something that the Indians have to come up to terms with, and that's not going to be easy, according to me. Even though they have been practicing a bit here, but still, I think they really have to get some. They have to be brilliant, according to me. So let's have a look at the Indian squad. Well, the Indian squad, it would probably be Murli Vijay and Shikhar Dhawan opening the innings, or whether KL Rahul. I would rather plump for Murli Vijay and Shikhar Dhawan because of their enormous experience, I reckon. So Murli Vijay and Shikhar Dhawan will open the innings. Cheteshwar Pujara, on whom there'll be a lot of hopes for India, because to me, if at all anyone has to stay at the wicket, it would be Cheteshwar Pujara. Virat Kohli, one knows what he brings to the table. Virat Kohli, the captain of the Indian team, very successful captain at that. But this is going to be a real test for Virat Kohli to me. Ajinkya Rahane would be slotted at 5, so still the Indian batting lineup also looks a bit strong. 6, Rohit Sharma coming in at number 6. Hardik Pandya, the all-rounder, one has to see how he could be accommodated. Wriddhiman Saha, the wicket keeper. So they still have some nice batting. Ashwin coming in at number 8. Bhuvneshwar Kumar has shown he's a good all-rounder as well in number 9. Then they have Ishan Sharma and Mohammad Shami. Now, Hardik Pandya, to come in the squad. I think it is going to be. It depends on what India looks at, because it would be pacey and bouncy, no doubt about it. At this, as you know, the Newlands in Cape Town is known as Table Mountain, as you would know, because of the shape of it, overlooking the hills, I would say. So, but let me also tell you that Ravindra Jadeja is not playing because of his viral fever that he has. So that leaves really Ashwin, the frontline spinner. And other than that, if you look at the pace, it's Ishan Sharma. Ishan Sharma would probably relish bowling on South African wickets, where he could really get the ball to their chin, I would say. Mohammad Shami can surprise you with some real pace, so he would be going to go. And Bhuvaneshwar Kumar. Now, Bhuvaneshwar Kumar would be a sort of a swing bowler like Vernon Philander, who would swing the ball both ways at some decent pace. Now, one was wondering whether Jasprit Bumrah could get an opportunity. For Jasprit Bumrah to get an opportunity, India would have to drop either one batsman, and that is not something that one would want to, because considering that this is the first test match, so they would like to know as to how they go here. So that is going to be there. So India also have a sort of a selection conundrum, no doubt about it. But nevertheless, I think we are going to have a great series. It would be a great start to the new year to me, as far as India and South Africa series is concerned, because South Africa have been waiting for India to reach their shores. And looking at the Newlands pitch, they say that it's very difficult to say what you can expect. And I am also told that the first and 4 days on this test, the forecast says that it would be cloudy and breezy. So I wouldn't be a least bit surprised if whichever team wins the toss puts the opposition in to get as much purchase out of this pitch when things are really blowing your way. And I'm also told that here with some cloud cover, they could get some real swing, and there have been instances where very low scores have been made. Just talking about one where a particular team was all out for 47. So there's a lot to learn, lot to see as to what really goes out. But I think this is a battle. It's going to be a mouth-watering battle at the center at Newlands in Cape Town. Not only in the first match, but also I think throughout the series. I think we are going to have a sort of a real battle on the cards. And as I said, I can really term it as a real mouth-watering battle that is coming up between South Africa and India. Well, it doesn't leave me much time here to just dwell on a very brief cricket news. As you know, the Indian Premier League 2018 would be coming up in the year 2018, and as you know, Mahendra Singh Dhoni was playing for Rising Pune Super Giants, and I'm sure whole of Chennai would be so happy that their folk hero Mahendra Singh Dhoni would be back in action for Chennai Super Kings. And also Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli have retained their places as captain for their respective teams like Mumbai Indians and Royal Challengers Bangalore. And so that is Ricky Ponting has been appointed as the Delhi Daredevils coach for the IPL. Well, with this being said, I'll be back tomorrow with the first day's play in the first test match between South Africa and India at Newlands in Cape Town. I'm just trying to give you a live cricket update to see whether the proceedings have started at the SCG. Unfortunately not, it is still lunchtime here at the SCG. Once again, I repeat, England were all out for 346 today on the second day at the SCG against Australia. And thanks for keeping company, dear friends and subscribers. This is your host Ram bidding good night.